My next guest grew up in a Hasidic household, didn't know what the internet was, nor did she understand even the process of upholstery. Now she owns Mod, M-O-D Restoration in Brooklyn, and she has made several $1 million in sales. Upholstery queen Hanny Lerner joins me now. Hanny, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I gotta just start by offering you the time to tell a little bit of your story, because you were just saying to me that even before you came into the upholstery business, you had no idea what upholstery was. How is that possible?
People didn't upholster furniture where I come from. You buy something, it breaks, you get something else.
So you had no idea of repairing any of this?
No.
So how did you start in that world and then now have this business?
How I started in the upholstery business.
Well, how you started, I know that you started as getting your own education and then you became an entrepreneur.
So I started out with a degree in finance, then I worked for a marketing firm, and I met a guy at 24 years old who was working for Jennifer Convertibles fixing furniture. And I thought that was so interesting that a young guy at 24 that I thought was really cool was on his hands and knees physically fixing furniture. So I said to him, why don't you start this thing on your own? And he said, no, I'm just, I like to, my 9 to 5, like to do the work that I get. And I said, well, I'll start it and you come join. We ended up starting the business together. I built the business side, and he, in the beginning, was on his hands and knees fixing the furniture. No longer, but that's how it started.
All right, so you built that business, and then what happens? You decide that doing furniture repair is not for you. Why the switch?
It was sort of depressing because you have a bunch of claims who are just people who are unhappy with their furniture, right? So why are they contacting the furniture company to get something fixed? It's broken, or it got damaged in transit. And so there were a lot of unhappy people. And there was nothing creative about it, right? So fix this nick on this table, fix the scratch on this sofa. And I'm a very creative person, and I love beautiful things. I like to look at beautiful things, and I thought, we have to make the switch.
So what's the next step? How did you end up in upholstery? How did that come about?
So I thought, what can I do that's in the same industry that I'm already in? I wasn't going to go, making zippers, but what can I do something that's similar to what I'm doing, but that has an element of something that I really enjoy? And I love fashion, and I figured furniture, what part of furniture can be fashionable? The fabric side of it, right? Choosing fabrics, and upholstery just...
But did you know how to upholster any furniture?
I've never, obviously, upholstered anything in my life.
Okay, so how does that happen? I mean, how do you get people to trust you? Where did you get the business? Did you use, I know, for example, social media and Groupon?
Right, so as part of the furniture repair, we'd have to go into people's homes and do panel replacement, so one panel. And so that's how I got the idea of even upholstery, because we just did one panel here that was already pre-cut and sewn. What if we offer the service to upholster the entire piece? And as far as getting the business, I called up Groupon. Groupon was really big at the time. This was in 2011. And I said, I want to do a Groupon deal. And they said, sure. And we ran the deal. We sold 90 Groupons. And then we were in business in one day.
But were you already in upholstery business?
Nope.
I mean, did they even know that you were in upholstery business?
Well, we didn't think otherwise. I mean, what was there?
You just put it out there.
Yeah, I just said, we'd like to run a deal, an upholstery deal.
And the business grew.
Yes, we didn't have any upholsterers at the time yet.
And how big is the business now?
There's about 10 full-time upholsterers plus other staff. And
you told the story about how someone came originally to look at your operation, took one look, turned around and left. What is that?
Yeah, so this was not in our current location. This is in the place we were before. We were renting a little room at my friend's warehouse. And this client comes in, and she says, okay, I'd like to see the kind of work that you do. And she sees nothing except a few pieces of furniture laying around and a warehouse full of kitchen and bath supplies. And she says, oh, so this is where you do the upholstery? And I said, yes. And she says, okay, and she walked out the door.
And not to be seen again?
Nope, but if she saw the company today, I'm sure she'd be...
What would you like to have done? What would you like to have the company do, let's say, in the next 12 months?
Double.
Double?
Every year, double.
Every year, double. And how do you reach audiences? How do you reach your customers?
Right now, it's all through online. Online marketing, Yelp, Google AdWords.
All online?
Right, but the next step would be hiring a crew of salespeople, which we never had before, so it'll be really interesting to see how that works. But right now, all the business comes to us.
Keep us up to date. Thank